Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let's talk about LlamaParse from LlamaIndex. I hope you will agree with me that if the data you feed into the LLM is good, then we get the good results, like garbage in, garbage out things which we used to talk about in machine learning. Right? That is same for LLM also. And I will be briefly explaining you the need of LlamaParse and why is it necessary, and after that I will show you the UI. Let's say I will navigate you through the UI of LlamaParse. At the last I will implement it via Python code with OpenAI models, which is by default used by LlamaIndex, and also with the models from Ollama. Let's get started. Okay, so I am now on the blog post here. It says introducing LlamaCloud and LlamaParse, right? So LlamaCloud launches with the following two key components. So LlamaParse and managed ingestion and retrieval API, right? So you get the idea that whenever you do something, LlamaParse directly integrates with LlamaIndex ingestion and retrieval to let you build retrieval over complex and semi-structured documents, right? Here, as it says, RAG is only as good as your data. I think you can just go here and read this, and you also get the point that I just mentioned, that if the data you feed into the LLM is good, you get the good output out of it, right? And there are different things mentioned here why there is a need of this, and you might also argue that there are many other platforms also which does the parsing, right? And they have also written here good thing that okay, getting started with the famous 5-line starter example is easy, but building the production grade RAG remains a complex and solve problem, right? Yeah, they have here some problems which they face. His results aren't accurate enough. The number of parameters to tune is overwhelming. PDFs are especially a problem, so they have started this with PDFs, right? So there is the llama parse that they introduced. And if you just look this diagram here is the comparison of llama parse versus PyPDF, right? We were using the PyPDF for many cases, and you get the idea here. They are showing these two different comparisons. So you can see here a red highlight means that the question was answered incorrectly, right? With the PyPDF, many were in the red, meaning the LlamaParse is trying to solve this kind of problems. There is also this unstructured IO, which is doing similar kind of things. I might explore that in the future also. But for now, let's go with the LlamaParse and let's see how it is trying to achieve the things. I will provide the link, by the way. You can just go here and see. And the example here, baseline PyPDF plus naive RAG. The mean correctness score is 3.874, while with the LlamaParse and recursive retrieval, it is 4.270, right? And just to mention here is also that this service is available in public preview mode, available to everyone, but with a usage limit of 1K pages per day. And you can see how easily we can use this in the code also. So yeah, and then also if you need the commercial use of LlamaParse, you can get touch with them. So they will provide you many things. And also, as I mentioned you in the beginning, currently they provide only the support for PDFs with tables, but they are having, let's say they are planning to expand this into other popular document types like PPT, HTML, and DOCX, right? So yeah, how this works, just go through this, and this is the playground, but this is only for, let's say, advanced user if you want to get into it. But for now, I'm not going to talk about Llama Cloud, but I'm just talking about the Llama Parse, right? Just go through this and see how they are trying to implement this, frequently asked questions, and all the different things. Now, how to get started is the question, right? There is a link, so which says that okay, LlamaParse onboarding. Welcome to the LlamaParse, the first public facing release in Llama Cloud. You can just go to this web link, and you can follow all the necessary steps as it is mentioned here, but I will just show you briefly. This is the cloud.llamaindex.ai. I have already created the account there. As you can see here, this is the cloud.llamaindex.ai. You need to create the account first, and yeah, this is how the UI looks like. There is the parse and there is the index. If I go to the index, as you can see here, sign up for the private preview, and you need to provide all the information here. But I'm not going to go with this one right now. I'm going to go with the parse, right? If you go to the parse, yeah, this is how you can implement. And the before implementing, there is two things you need to remember. Use with LlamaIndex. This is how it is shown here. And use as a standalone API. So you can just use call and then use this as a standalone API also. There is also this preview parsing that we can already open, or let's say provide our PDF here and see in the preview before implementing this into our code, right? I will just click this one. I will go to my desktop and go to LlamaParse example. I have the data GPT for all PDF. I will just upload this here. As you can see here, this is the uploaded version. So normal things here, authors, abstract, and all the different things. There is also the table. There is small diagram here. How this is being parsed by LlamaParse, right? If you go to this preview, so this is how it is being parsed here. This is a markdown. As you can see here, there is the title and there are the authors and there is the abstract. It has, let's say, parsed that PDF document into a markdown. It is easier for our LLMs to get answer from it, right? As you can see here, providing this into the LLMs or providing this randomly makes a huge difference, right? So yeah, this is how it is being provided here. Now our plan is to use the API key and use that locally. For that, you can go to this API key icon here and get the API key. I have already taken the API key. And now just go to this llama parser example GitHub repository. I will provide you the link and just download this. First, create a virtual environment and activate and install the necessary packages and provide the environment variables in the .env, right? Now I will open the terminal here. I have already cloned that particular repository and created a virtual environment here and install the necessary packages. I will open this in VS Code. Here you can see this is the VS Code. And first I will show you without using the parser and then using the parser, right? And there is this same GPT for all paper. As you can see here, I'm using the same paper and I will be asking some questions out of it. So this is with no parser, right? How the 5-line things work. What I'm doing here is just normal markdown things to print it in a good way. And from LlamaIndex.core, we have this vector store and simple directory reader. I'm loading the environment variables. And by the way, we need the openai key here. So if I show you now here, because I will delete this later, this is the LlamaCloud API key that I just showed you in the LlamaCloud. And this is the OpenAI API key. You can get it from the OpenAI's website. Once that is done, you can just load this and we have this OpenAI API key. And inside data, I have this GPT for all paper. So I'm using the simple directory loader. But by the way, you can just go step by step here. I can show you, okay, I will first read this, right? This is done. And then I will read the document. The document part is also done. If you want to see the documents, you can just print it. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. If you scroll here, all the different things are being extracted by default. And then we can create the index. So we create the index here and we create the query engine. And now we can ask the question. Let me probably ask the question here. Okay, who are the authors of the paper? I will just uncomment the first one here and I will just print the response. It will just use the OpenAI's model. And as you can see here, it provides all the names. If you want to have the good output, just use this in the markdown and you can have the output here. So this is how it works. I'm just showing you step by step, but if you want to run this in one go, what you can do is just let me see. I can uncomment this display, go to the terminal and then just run Python 3 no parser.py. The same answer that we got here will be shown here. I'm just using the Jupyter extension here just to show you the interactive way. But yeah, as you can see here, it shows the answer. And yeah, you can just go ahead and ask any questions. For example, if I go here and ask the second question, okay, where was the collected data loaded on, right? I can just ask this query and I can just print this. It is shown in the atlas. If you have watched my previous video, you know that it is loaded in the atlas. And similarly, you can ask the questions from the terminal. So yeah, this is how we can do with listen no parser, right? But now how to do this with parser, right? I will just close this for now. And there is another file called parser OpenAI. Here what I am doing is the normal things, as I have shown you before also. All these things are normal. I can just go here and then just copy all these things. I will import these things, and here I'm using the LlamaParser API key and the OpenAI API key, right? I will run this one, and now here is the code parser, and let me make this bigger. This is the parser, and I'm using the LlamaParser, right? I am importing the LlamaParser here from the LlamaParse, and I'm providing the API key which I get from the LlamaCloud. And now I say that, okay, I want the result type to be markdown, and markdown and text are being available right now. And yeah, I can just let me first provide the, okay, I have already provided the API key. Now I can run the parser, right? I will run this, and if I see what is the parser, you can see that this is the parser, and the API key is also being printed here. And I'm just saying, okay, I want to read the .pdf file and use the simple directory reader, and I'm passing the data which I was just using here before, right? So that's all what it is doing. I can just go to this line, and I will run this two line shift enter. So what it is doing is now creating the documents that was created as before, right? So now, as you can see, it started parsing the file under the job IDs. Now if I just want to print the document, yeah, I can print here. And if you scroll here, it is getting all the informations that it was used, and the same information that we saw in the UI is being extracted here. Now we can just create the normal index. This is being created, and then you can just create the query engine as we did before, and we can ask this simple question here. So yeah, it should provide us the answer. The collected data was loaded into Atlas. Right now you might be thinking, okay, the answer is same, what is the difference between it? But you get the idea that we are using, let's say we are doing the parsing in the Llama cloud instead of doing it locally, right? If you just compare these two things, we are just using these documents and dot load data, and we are passing this document here. But in this case, as you can see here, I can make this let me be a little bit bigger. We are just providing this simple directory reader, and then we are loading the data, but we are taking it, let's say the file extractor, and we are getting it from this parser. This is the parser being provided. But you can ask complex questions if you want. For example, if you go to this GPT for all paper, and maybe you can just go here and ask some random question. Let me ask one question, by the way. What is the BOOLQ value of this mode, right? I will just copy this. I will say, what is the BOOLQ? So I will go here. I will replace this. It's no parser, but let me go with the parser. I will go here and just let me see what I can do. Is okay, what is the BOOLQ value of this model, right? I can just go here and run this response. Let me see if it gets the answer or not, right? So yeah, it says 73.4. Now if I go to this, and if I go down, let me make this bigger. Yeah, as you can see here, it is 73.4. It gets the answer from here. Now, one thing just to compare is what I can do is I can just copy this, right? I will copy this, go to the no parser, and I will just paste it here. It must also get the answer, but we are not using the parser in this case, right? What happens if I run this here? Windows for this, yes, I want, but it says error because I need to run all the things. Let me load this again here. Okay, import OS, and now I can run this. Let me see if it gets the answer or not. As you can see here, the bool q value of GPT for this is 77.1, right? But if you go here, it is not 77.1, but it is 73.4, and our parser gets the right answer. This is just what I wanted to show you, because this is the good part of using the good data, let's say. I was just experimenting this, and I find it really helpful, and I just want to provide this. And now let's say in some cases, you might even want to use the local models, right? I have also this parser Ollama. I'm not going to go through all this, but what I'm doing here is instead of using OpenAI model, what if we can use the model from Ollama, right? Here, what I'm doing is all the normal things until here. You can just run this, shift enter, and then I'm using the parser. I will again run this one. But what I'm doing here is, by the way, I can even run this part here. Let me make this little bit smaller until wait here. I can even load the file here, right? And I will do shift enter, and now I can maybe run the documents. By the way, I'm showing you this for each step, but what you can do is with the parser, you can already use the persistent DB. You can store that parsed document somewhere in the folder here, and then use the same document each time, right? But here I'm passing it each time, but you can just use it once and use the same document. For example, if I go here and print this document, it will give me the document, right? I shouldn't run it again and again. Now what I am doing is just to show you that there is good things here. It is the markdown and it is showing things. But if you haven't watched my Ollama videos, I highly recommend you to go and watch these Ollama videos, which is here. It will show you how to install Ollama and all the different things. But I'm not going to go there. But what I'm doing here is using the Ollama. From LlamaIndex.embeddings.ollama, I'm importing the Ollama embeddings. And here I'm using the Llama 2, and the base URL is this way the Llama index is reading, right? What I can do is just run this. And it says, okay, name Ollama is not imported because I haven't run this one. And now I can go here and run this. So it is imported. I also need to import the Ollama, right? And I will just use the Llama 2 for now. And now I will do the setting. So this part is necessary because by default LlamaIndex uses the OpenAI models. And now we want to tell LlamaIndex that, okay, use the local models instead of OpenAI, right? I can just pass this here. And now I can pass this document into the vector store index. So now it says, okay, HTTP localhost is not running because what I did was I didn't run the Ollama, right? If I do Ollama list, now it is going to run Ollama in my machine, and you can see that I'm using the Llama 2. So that is the thing also that I want to show you, because installing Ollama is not only enough. You need to also run Ollama. Right now, if I go here and run the same line, it will not show me the error because now I have my Ollama model running locally. So the local host 11434 is being read by this vector store index under the hood. Now what it is doing is creating the index from this parsed markdown, right? What we can do now is, after this, of course, create the index as we did before. It is taking now some time. As you can see, before it was using the OpenAI model, it was quite fast, right? And now we can run this, and this is just to show you how to print in this markdown. So yeah, I can just go here and ask the same question. Okay, query, who are the authors of the paper? It should provide me the answer. Let's see. It is taking some time. The authors of the paper are this. That's really good. But I want to test with the same query that I used before, because I want to just test if this works, right? I will go here and replace this with this one. What is the bool Q value of GPT this? So if this provides the answer, I'm really impressed. But let's see what it provides the answer here. By the way, what is the answer? Answer was 73.4, right? Let me see what it provides, or it even gets the answer or not, because we are using the models locally. If it provides, then it is really, really good, because there is now then no difference between using, well, I cannot say no difference, but it is kind of okay for us to use the local models also, right? So yeah, it is taking some time, as you can see. And then now, okay, it is just providing random values. I cannot directly reference this. Okay, this is the value, this is the value. And now it is just providing random stuff from the PDF, right? But you get the idea now. I have provided all the code here with no parser, how you can use this. with Parser how to use this, and with the Ollama also how to run this code. So yeah, I hope now you get the idea how to use the Llama parser. This is, I think, really good way how LlamaIndex is providing things for us, because in the future, let's say if there is many other file format also being provided, and if we can use this in this simple manner and have the good answers out of it, why not to try, right? So yeah, just give a try. I just find it helpful, and I thought it would be also helpful for you. Let me know what you feel in the comment section, or if you want me to create any new video, just let me know also in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.